Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Teacher Fatiha. For today's video presentation, I will share about unilateral and bilateral coordination. So, let's get started. As you can see here are the table of contents of the subtopic that I will share on this presentation today. The first one is the definition. The second one is types of coordination. The third one is the examples. And the last one is the conclusion. So, first of all, I will start with the definition. So, unilateral coordination is the ability to use one side of the body in a coordinated way. In other words, unilateral isolates one side of body to coordinate a movement, while bilateral coordination is the ability to use both sides of the body together in a coordinated way. In other words, it is the ability to coordinate the right and left side of the body and to cross the midline of the body. There are several types of bilateral coordination. The first one is symmetrical movement, in which both hands or feet are performing the same movement. In other words, both hands do the same thing at the same time. An example of this would be pulling up pants or socks. The second one is reciprocal movement or alternating movement, where body differentiates both sides of the body using a rhythmical movement. So we can see alternating bilateral coordination with swimming or climbing up a ladder. The third types of bilateral coordination is asymmetrical movement, in which both sides of body are working together but both sides are performing separate movement, with one side leading and the other side supporting or assisting. In other words, dominant hand and non-dominant hand, where using one hand to perform a task while the other assists the task. So this type of bilateral coordination is needed for writing and cutting with scissors. Here are some of the other examples for symmetrical, reciprocal, and asymmetrical bilateral coordination. So for symmetrical bilateral coordination are clapping, pull apart toys, and jumping. As for reciprocal bilateral coordination are the crawling, walking, riding a bike, as well as swimming. And lastly, for asymmetrical bilateral coordination are cutting paper, sewing, playing a musical instrument, as well as tying shoes. As for the conclusion, bilateral coordination is an important foundation skill for the development of many motor skills and essential for the development of hand dominant and refined fine motor skill. And children with poor coordination of the two sides of the body together may present with difficulties in motor activity that involve two sides of the body, tend to avoid crossing their midline, difficulty in coordinating the action of both hands in a coordinated way, such as one hand action while the other stabilize work or use of scissors to cut and hold. Have difficulty in reading left to right across the page, swap hands during fine motor activities, as well as have difficulty in self-care skills. So that's all from me, and thank you for listening.